And welcome back. Our next guest is, well, he's a representative. He represents one half of the dynamic husband and wife team that are co-founders of a mental conditioning movement. He joins us to speak about how him and his wife are helping others achieve holistic wellness and so much more. So please welcome to the show. And he's no stranger to the show. They've been here before, but now they're here in person. Elliot Allen is in the house.
Thank you, Bob. How are you?
And your wife is at home.
She's working today.
She's going to check this out later on.
Certainly will, certainly will. So I got to be on my P's and Q's.
Yeah, give her a nice shout out right off the bat.
Hey, baby. Hey, Michelle. How you doing?
Here you go. What is mental conditioning, mental health conditioning?
Well, mental conditioning, Dr. Bob, I'll give you the definition first, and we'll kind of back off from that.
Yeah.
It's really the strengthening of our minds to enhance our decision-making skills toward our big picture while staying the course.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot to digest, but you
And
have
that big
to train.
picture can be different for many people.
Everybody's big picture is different. That's a lot to digest, but to really break that down, you know, the good news is that we live in a society today where mental health awareness is key. Yeah. Everybody knows mindset is very, very important, but very few people understand how important our mindset is. You're sitting where you're sitting right now because of a certain mindset. I'm sitting where I'm sitting because of a certain mindset. I heard all the guests that you had on earlier.
Yeah.
Everybody's sitting where they're sitting because of a certain mindset. However, we must train to get to these positions.
Yeah.
And that's a very essential part that we must understand to be able to move forward. And that's what the mental conditioning movement is all about. Training our minds to understand that mindset is going to get you to where you are, good or bad.
Yeah. And you know what? There's some talk about, there's a young man that has a book out. I can't recall his name right about now, but he said this is affecting Generation C and lots of other people too. Because a lot of people are doing this instead of out in public talking to people or socializing in person.
Yes, I'm a big proponent of talking about that because social media has allowed us not to go into the mental conditioning gym and train our minds. We don't put that work in anymore because we're going on social media, and sometimes social media has a lot of falsehoods. So we're training incorrectly. There's nothing that replaces old-fashioned training, and social media is replacing that. So we have to be really, really careful to make sure that we're training our minds very, very meticulously each and every day to make sure that we are where we want to be. That's the mindset part.
Yeah, and of course we always had mental health conditions along the line, but they said starting in 2010 or after 2010, when these things came out, that's when people started going downhill with their mental health because they were paying more attention to the phone. And you see people, even when they're walking baby carriages, you know, you see the little baby in there with an iPad like this.
Yes. I'm going to
introduce... And the mind is developing and using this instead of
I'm going to introduce a word to
the way it's supposed to be.
Important. Clarity.
Clarity.
Those phones, social media, that clouds our mindset. That clouds our direction. I told you big picture is very, very important.
Yeah.
We lose focus. We lose focus of what our big picture is sometimes through social media. We no longer can go in the direction that we want to go. Our mindset has changed. Sometimes we take on the mindset of someone else because we're watching social media. Self-evaluation is the most important part of mental conditioning. Are you in tune with who you are? Social media is really, really, really a tough battle because we start looking at other people. Oh, wow, I want to get what he has. I want to get what she has. So we lose that clarity of what our direction is. Where are we trying to go? What is really your big picture? Self-evaluation is very critical. And to be able to maintain that, it takes what? Mental conditioning. You must train for that. This is not something that's easy.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
So they're trying to eliminate these phones in junior high school, elementary, junior high school, and in high school. And they're trying to get parents to all join together to eliminate that phone. You know how difficult that's going to be, right?
Very difficult.
To eliminate that phone so that they can condition the mind the right way. before 2010, they had the flip phone.
Yes.
And they're thinking about, going back to here, take a flip phone. You need to get in touch with your parents or your
Yes.
friends. Here's a flip phone.
Yes.
But when you're on this thing, it's wide open. It's the worldwide media.
Yes, it is.
World Wide Web. You're in there. You can go anywhere in the world. And a lot of them go overboard and get into trouble in many different ways. So how do you link this up to boxing?
Oh, wow. I'm a big boxing guy. I love the sport of boxing. And the truth of the matter is that each and every day that we get up, we're in a fight. It's us against life each and every single day. And boxing is the greatest metaphor for that.
Yeah.
All of us, I'm sure, have seen a boxing match. I'm so fascinated by that because when you see two fighters get into the ring, they're swapping punches. And on a high level, if you have a guy like a Floyd Mayweather or Mike Tyson, there's millions of people watching. Mentally, yes, you can see a physical, wow, this is physically is great. But mentally, there's such a battle. A fighter gets in the ring, he gets hit. He gets hit so hard he doesn't know what his name is, but he trained for 8 weeks. This is that training I just talked about.
Yeah.
He trained for 8 weeks for that fight. His cornerman told him, listen, this is the strategies that we have to employ. But when you get hit, I'm not sure what my name is. Guess what you still have to do?
Yeah.
You still have to remember the strategies that you learned during your training camp.
Yeah.
Life is the same way. We get hit with death. We get hit with losing our jobs. We get hit with financial difficulties. You still have to remember who you are. We get hit with what you just talked about, social media. I just saw something on social media that blew me away, but that's not you. So we have to remember to execute who we are.
Yeah.
So boxing is really, really a great metaphor for that because so many things go on during the course of a fight. You get hit, you get cut, you're bleeding. How do you still maintain what it is that you're supposed to be doing for yourself?
Yeah.
That's very important.
I'm just going to slip away from boxing. And they had this on social media too,
Yes.
where you just stand there like this and you take a smack. Did you ever see that?
I did see that. I did see that.
Pat on the hands. And
Yes.
pow! Sometimes the guy gets back up and he's
Yes.
able to return the slap, and sometimes they don't.
Yes.
So they can't go on with the strategy anymore because they've gone out.
Yes.
But that's just that. I just wanted to touch that because we just started seeing that like about a year or so ago.
Yes.
And it's still big. People watch. Did you see that smack?
Yes.
But you have a new book out, or it's coming out. 12 rounds of mental conditioning versus life. The big fight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The book, again, gives those analogies about boxing and life. Instead of chapters, we use rounds.
Yeah.
For example, in round 6, we have round 6 is called Learning During the Fight. Heard a previous guest that you actually had on, Sharon Lead, and
Yeah.
she talked about that point in her life where she lost a job. And she had to regroup now and go into, and it caused her to start her new company.
Yes.
Netstruck PR. That's learning during the course of the fight. She got hit.
Yeah.
She got hit hard. She went down. She lost her job. I need money, but I have a skill. I'm going to use that skill now to be able to further my life in a better direction. That's learning during the fight. We use the example of Muhammad Ali in the book, Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. When Muhammad Ali got into that fight, round 1, he looked sharp. But he knew when he went back to the corner, said, you know what? I'm expending a lot of energy. I can't do this for 15 rounds.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rope this dope. Right? What did he do? Went to the ropes and let the guy
He was taking it too.
and he took it.
George Foreman
But he
chops
had
down
to learn
trees.
during the fight. He had to learn, you know what, I got to try this. Ultimately, he ended up getting a knockout in the 8th round because, as George would tell you himself, I just ran out of gas.
Yeah.
But that's about learning during the fight. We have to do this in life. You have to be able to look at what's going on in front of us. Have that clarity, and use the word again.
Yeah.
Have that clarity to say, how do I get out of this situation? Oftentimes we get overwhelmed by these situations. If you don't train mentally, you're going to get overwhelmed by the onslaught of life because life is a great fighter, never gets tired, always moving, can punch like a son of a gun, and is really, really fast. That's all the ingredients of a great fighter.
Yeah.
And they don't slow
And
down.
go well beyond 15 rounds.
And go well beyond 15. I don't know about
Time
you,
is
but I
no
can go
option.
about 10 rounds and I'm out of gas.
What, 10?
There you
Give
go.
me a round. A round of some serious.
So this is
fighting.
important for us to really understand that training and what it does for us moving forward for our lives mentally.
So you got that in the book and more. And
Oh, yes.
explain, what will somebody learn upon reading your book?
again, you'll be able to learn how to adjust, make the adjustments. We talk about deciding to get better. We talk about the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. These are all things that people don't necessarily realize have to do with your mind. How do you accept victory? I'm on this show today. This is a victory for me. How do I accept that? Sometimes, maybe tomorrow when I get off here, Sharon's going to say, you know what, that deal I thought you was going to get, we didn't get it. That's the agony of defeat. How do you accept those things but move forward?
Yeah.
And the book gives you all of these different examples. Trainers. We have trainers in life. What do they do for us? How do we accept that information? The first guest you had on here, they were talking about health. And that's, you have to be able to receive that information. Yeah. I hear these things because I look at it from a mindset standpoint. The information was great, but you can have ladies sitting out there who are pregnant, but if you're not ready to receive that information, you're just going to sit there and it went over your head. I'm obviously not a woman, and I'm not going to get pregnant, but I received that information. That's an important part of mindset and mental conditioning training to receive information from your trainers.
Beautiful. Now, you have a location where people can come to receive this training.
Yes, sir.
Where's that located?
So the gym is located in Lake Success, Long Island. It's called the Mental Conditioning Gym, and we do really what me and you are sitting here doing right now. I call it mental sparring. We really get in there and we bring clarity to people's lives. People have goals and ambitions of things that they're trying to get through, but there's always going to be an opponent. So we kind of navigate through that, give you your self-evaluation, allow your decision-making to become sharper, formulate that big picture, and also look at when you got knocked off the course, how do you get yourself back on?
And sing the song. We fall down, but we
get up. We get up.
Or started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a big part of it, but you have to be mentally prepared to do that.
Exactly. Where do we go for more information?
You can go to our website. It's www.mentalconditioningmovement.com. All the information, all of the different things that we do, you get an opportunity to see it on the website.
Mind, body, and soul.
Very, very important. But if you don't get the mind right, we can't go any further.
Steve Harvey always says that. Got to get your mind right.
Yes, it's a very important piece. Steve Harvey's sitting where he's sitting because mindset and understanding, you know what, I have to train for that.
Are you still physically moving in the gym?
Getting better. Getting better. Getting there. Getting there.
Get hit too hard, you can't get your mind right until you wake back up.
But you know what? If you don't train your mind to say, you know what, there's another round, sometimes you have to grab and hold. That's a chapter in the book. Grab and hold. Sometimes you can't throw punches. I'm hurt. I don't know what my name is. So the best thing for me to do is grab and hold and wait till I get to the next round.
Thank you so much. Hold on. We're going to take a break. We've got more coming up. Elliot Allen, co-founder, Team Allen Mental Conditioning Movement. You thought I was going to say gym. Well, you can say gym because it is a gym.
It is part of us. Yep.
But thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Brown.
We've got more coming up next.